Okay, all right. How's everyone doing today? Thank you. Lesson number 10. And amazingly well done. Massive round of applause for you, for your attention spans, for your persistence, and for your assistance in co-creating this amazing community of enlightened entrepreneurs that we're doing here. Thank you again. So before we jump into it, traditionally lesson number 9, the art of reframing, and the second part of the lesson was of course the maintenance, the safeguarding of your attitude. We were talking that the attitude is your daily mindset that allows you to stay within the positive framing or negative framing. The positive framing is when you are keeping your happiness index 6 plus 6 9 or 6 to 10, and the negative framing is the fear-based consciousness 1 to 5. So you want to be as positive, as inspiring, as co-creative, as collaborative, and is as inspirational as you can possibly be on a daily basis as you co-create with your team of your fellow co-creators. And even if you're not, if you're not there yet, if you one-man band yet, still you are transmitting the energy to your audience. So that's super important. So the art of maintaining the attitude is when you lose the attitude, where you go back to the negativity framing, you have to reframe the situation. We have to look at it from different perspective. We have to tell ourselves different picture. We have to go to the positive members of our team, the positive people out there, whether they are physically or netizens, or we have to go to nature. We have to recharge our batteries. We have to remove ourselves from negativity, and then we have to go back and just carry on the workflow. You cannot stop for the day. You have to go back because it's a process. It's a part of the skill set that there will be many things coming your way, and you'll be stopping in the worst case scenario, but you must go back. You must go back the same day because you need to keep the consistency of your workflow. Your results will be based on your consistency. Once you have the habit of doing the certain things on a daily basis, you will get where you need to go, as long as you will have the right knowledge, right skill set, right people, as long as you stay adaptable, and as long as you stay in a state of humility. As long as you follow your highest excitement, as long as you max out your free KPIs, you will get where you need to get. But the art of reframing will be the art of convincing yourself to go back up whenever you fall down, or your fellow human beings, the people, the members on your team will be allowing you to do so, just like you'll be allowing them to do so. That's the power of the team. That's why I've told you guys, those were very first lesson. It's not I, it's not us, it's the one. It's the totality of us, because we all need each other. Even though there's that popular meme that, oh, I'm a strong and independent person. Okay, fair enough. That's your boss, that's your base operating system script, or that's your belief system. I would then gently venture that perhaps it's just BS, it's just another belief system. Maybe you're not cooking your own food, maybe you're not growing your own food, maybe you haven't built your own house, maybe you're not maintaining the electricity grid, maybe you're not in that war room that protects you from the myriads of different threats which are happening on a nanosecond basis, and you're not even aware of those because they are just so outside of the framework of your perception. Maybe all those things are done by other people for you and for everyone. So perhaps, just maybe, hashtag just a suggestion, perhaps we all need each other. Perhaps the entire planet Earth is just one giant family in a state of persistent civil war, and perhaps we need to find a way to misalign with each other. So my suggestion to you is that if you want to be strong and independent, God bless you. I wish you all the best on your journey. But how about you're going to give yourself a chance of exploring the theme of being strong and interdependent? So just a suggestion. So that was lesson number 9. The art of reframing is allowing us to go back to the positive attitude. Maintenance of positive attitude is one of the most important skills slash talents that we can have throughout life, especially if you are in the leadership roles. And that leads us very smoothly to lesson number 10, which is, I know I promised you guys for such a long time. Now I'm finally delivering on that promise, because you are learning to reframe events from negativity to positivity, reframe events, reframe belief systems, reframe values, reframe different people, and reframe yourself if you need to. So what happens when you reframe yourself? Well, you become an icon. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is lesson number 10 is become an icon. So lesson number 10 will be pertaining for two things which are the most challenging for so many different entrepreneurs, content creators, startups, people, the people who want to build something out of nothing. The two things that they challenge with is the finding the highest excitement, finding their passion. I get that quite a lot, in fact, like, GP, I don't know what my highest excitement, I don't know what I need to do with my life. Relax. Some of the most exhilarating human beings that I have had a pleasure of meeting, they don't know what to do. They want to do with their lives in their 30s. So relax. No matter where you are, whether you are in your early 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and you say it's never too early and it's never too late. Just keep going. Just have fun. So you will find your highest excitement. We'll be talking about that today, and also assembling your team, because those two of course are intercorrelating with one another, because almost always if you found your highest excitement, hopefully you'll put it within your values. And as you remember from the lesson number 8, the values of your team, those two need to be matching as closely as possible. So ideally you want your highest excitement high up on your value spectrum, on your values list, priorities. And you want the same with the people, that if you want to, let's say, if you want to be a musician, an artist, a performer on stage, it would be nice if the people on your team would be sharing your vision and sharing your passion, aligning their values. So finding your highest excitement and finding your team, you do it simultaneously. You're doing it at the same time. And oftentimes finding your team will be part of your highest excitement. So we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about becoming an icon. So ideally what you want to do is that first and foremost, I always say to the people, don't search for highest excitement, because overwhelming majority of the people do not know what they want from life, and that's perfectly fine. Remember, we were talking about the meme of having infinite amount of possibilities, and people being within the frame of mind of very tiny possibilities, because that's what they have seen, and they are looking, they are framing, they are using the belief systems of perceiving the events from the perspective of what has happened before, their confirmation bias, their reality distortion field. They are thinking that this is all that is possible because that's what happened to me so far. This is not the case. You have infinite amount of possibilities, but you need to open yourself to the possibility of having those possibilities. So in order to do that, you will not be searching for passion. You will be searching for, first and foremost, and you'll not be searching for the team just yet. You'll be searching for an icon, because this is how humans learn. Remember what we were saying, ESE, emotional social example. Humans are social emotional beings. I apologize, I hope it's not going to be offensive. Monkey sees, monkey does, and it will be offensive. I mean, come on, to the monkeys. Monkeys don't do greed and disempowerment, humans do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just using a little bit of the dark humor to keep you guys up in the highest excitement. But essentially that's how it is. We learn from each other. We learn from our parents, we learn from our peer group, we learn from our environments, and then we expand our learning beyond that. So first and foremost, you have to find icons. Ideally you want to find 3 people that you want to emulate, and that can be anyone. It can be a person who's already living. I'm sorry, that was a very bad framing. The person who's alive, or you can look for historical people. I love to learn, I love to expand consciousness, I love to connect with so many different people. One of the things that really helped me a lot in my character arc is the lesson of history, which some people reframe as our story, because it's not about him, it's not about her, it's about all of us. But history, as Otto von Bismarck has said, only a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from mistakes of others. I love history. I love history of corporations. I love history of nations. I love history of people. I just love to learn from other people's mistakes. So ideally you want to find the people who are, and you'll be looking at the bosses, the base operating system scripts, you'll be looking at belief systems, and you'll be looking at values, because ideally, especially values, especially the last, they need to be aligning. So you're searching for the icons because you'll be aligning values, you'll be finding out what was important for those people, and you'll be emulating them, you'll be copying and pasting, you'll be taking their beliefs, you'll be taking their values, you'll be taking their bosses, and you'll be taking their behavioral patterns, their habits on a daily basis, and you'll be just applying it in your circumstance. That's what you'll be doing. So ideally you want to find 3 people, and I'm not going to tell you which ones. It's your game of life. You go and you find them. There's just so many amazing and inspirational people. You don't have to settle for free. I have so many icons that we could spend the rest of the day just listing, because there's so many amazing human beings who have graced us with the pleasure and the passion of their character arcs. But that's essentially it. Every single human being is a lesson. Remember what we said on the first lesson, the lesson number 1, the size and symmetry of your why. Every single human being is a lesson. You want to find those human beings, whether they are men, women, or children, who have changed the course of history, or they were just impactful within the realm of their community. Doesn't matter. You want to find someone that you will emulate in terms of physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's going to be your model, your role model, your icon to follow. So you find your icons and then you emulate. You get the information, you use the open source called the internet. If you're really passionate about it, and trust me, like I said to you guys, many of you searching for your highest excitement will become a path of finding your highest excitement. This is, many of you will find that, hey, I actually love this stuff. You might become a historian or investigative journalist, or you might be shorting stocks. The shorting of stocks is just the investigator of companies. So there'll be many themes that you will explore as you are trying to find your icons, and you get as much information as you can. This is the homework, and it's a very serious one. If you don't yet know what's your passion, your highest excitement will be trying to find your highest excitement, and you will do it by finding the right icons. And those people who are giving you the greatest buzz, they are giving you the greatest possibility of reframing your mindset to feel the great about yourself as a possibility that you could be just like them. That's your indication, your emotion, the voice of your heart. That is that thread, that is that storyline that you follow, and you start realizing and manifesting your highest excitement as you learn to trust yourself. So always listen to your heart, always be self-aware. If that character arc, if that storyline, if the history of that particular person makes you excited or curious or intrigued, follow that, and then find out as much as you can and start learning as much as you, particularly paying attention to those 3: the bosses, the BSs, and the values. Those 3 are super important, because the name of the game is to copy and paste and then apply it within your lifetime, and then do the small changes. You will be working on your workflows, you'll be working on your daily habits in order to emulate the 3 of your greatest icons. So that's what you'll be doing in order to become yourself an icon, because that's monkey sees, monkey does. I'll give you a very specific example from life, from history. There was a gentleman called Julius Caesar, and Julius at that time, he was a proconsul. He wasn't really a very important person in the Roman Republic, and he was at that time in a place that was it was an equivalent of today's country called Spain, a beautiful place. If you haven't been to Spain, I highly recommend it. But anyway, he has found a statue of Alexander the Great. And what he did, the statue didn't inspire him. It was actually a reason for negative reframing. He went from positive attitude to the negative attitude. Why? Because he realized that Alexander the Great, by the age of 25, has created one of the greatest empires the world has ever seen. To this very day, 2000 years after, people are still talking about Alexander the Great. So what did Julius Caesar, what did he do? He negged out. He lost his attitude. It's like, oh my God, I'm almost 35. I've got nothing to show for it. So remember, guys, that reframing can be positive or it can be negative, but it can still have positive connotations, because that has spurred Julius Caesar to eventually become the first emperor of Rome. I mean, he has abolished the Roman Republic. He became a very successful general because of that event. He was inspired by that seeing of that statue and negging out, losing the attitude. He has completely reconfigured his algorithm of life. He became a famous general. He conquered the equivalent of France of today's terms, another amazing country, another great recommendation. And then he just took his soldiers and he invaded Rome. He invaded the equivalent of Italy. I know that's enough recommendations for one day, but now all of those countries are great. However, that's it, that he has emulated the example of Alexander the Great. He found an icon and he became an icon. And this is it. This is once again the essence of game of life, is finding the algorithm and just copying and pasting the right algorithm. Just that's what we are. The humans are universal thieves. We steal from one another and we are shameless about it. And if we steal enough and if we recreate enough, we call it original thinking. So nonetheless, that's how you do it. You just find an icon. I mean, I'm not asking you to get your army and invade countries. Please don't. This is all-inclusive channel. But just as an example, that you find an icon, you emulate the icon, particularly the boss, the base operating system scripts, the belief systems and values. You copy and paste, you emulate that, and you try to become just like them. And you learn as much as you can. Now, next step, of course, will be 3 things that you'll be paying attention to, because if you'll be going out to ordinary people, I mean, this channel, it's like an advanced learning. This is for the people who are, I mean, this is for everyone, but many people who will become leaders of entrepreneurs, this is like an advanced course for the game of life, the planet Earth edition. But most of the people will not relate to those definitions that we are using with this language and this terminology, and most of the people, perhaps they're not aiming that high. So what you'll be focusing on will be 3 things. You'll be focusing on skill set, you'll be focusing on hobbies, and you'll be focusing on dreams, because these ones are much more relatable to the largest possible amount of people. So your skill set, the hobbies and the dreams that you have been inspired by your icons to develop and emulate, these will be the values, because these are the entry-level values. The hobby, the skill set, the hobbies and the dreams, these are the preludes to the value systems. That's how you're going to click with the right people. That's how you're going to manifest them in your reality, and they're going to manifest you in their reality. Because remember, when you're searching for someone, someone is searching for you. Remember the meme that we have used, that the reality is just a mirror. It's just a reflection of whom you are. It's just a reflection of the energy that you are vibrating, that you are manifesting, that you are sending out to the people, to creation, to nature, however you wish to frame it or reframe it. So you will focus on those 3, and you will essentially connect with the communities. You will connect with the communities of netizens, and you will connect with the communities of physical people, because especially the skills, and now very quickly, the skills, everything, just like you have in the, whether it's a role-playing games of pen and paper, or the cards, or whether it's video games, you have the attributes, the physical and mental attributes, but you also have the skills. And the good games, good role-playing games, and the game of life is the best role-playing games, they have the skills, but they also have talents. The talents is the level of the skill that you're starting with. And everything is a skill. Everything. Maintenance of your attitude is a skill. Reframing is a skill. Persistence is a skill. Humility is a skill. There are social skills. There's a skill of coding. There's a skill of prompting the artificial intelligence. There's a skill of editing video. There's a skill of working out the probability of whether that company will succeed on this particular market or not. All of this is a skill and it's a talent at the same time. Talent is the starting point and skill set is everything else. Anything that you need in life, it's a skill and you can learn it. As long as you choose to believe you can, as long as you find the right people and you find the right teachers, or you find the right patterns in the open source of the internet or artificial intelligence. You can learn it as long as you stay persistent. Just gently, tiny steps, every little day. Every day you're getting higher and higher on the consciousness expansion ladder. Every day you'll be developing those skills, and as you develop those skills, you become more confident. So that skill set, the hobbies, these are the things that you'll be escaping, because you cannot spend 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. When you'll be starting your startup, when you'll be starting your business, when you'll be starting your channel, yes, many of you will have such a buzz. You'll be maxing out your happiness index to such a level that you'll be spending 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. But you cannot do that on the consistent basis. You will burn out. So you must find something, you must have hobbies. Apart from your beautiful family, if you are blessed with partners, with children, all of those is important. Your friends, don't neglect any of it. That's part of your hobbies, that's part of your daily commitments. But find something which is not related to work as well, something that you can escape to if you lose your attitude. So that's very important, and that's super important for the people. That's the entry level values. This is how you'll be connecting with those passionate communities. You are not searching for the team, you're just searching for hobbies, you're just searching for dreams, you're just searching for ways to learn the skill set. And lastly, the dreams is the aspirations of the people. Like, many people do not have dreams on aspirations because they are so stuck with the negativity bias, and we're going to talk about negativity bias in just a second. But essentially, you're focusing on those three. There are people who try to learn the skills, there are people who share the passions of hobbies, and there are people who have the dreams. They have, remember we were talking about the legacy and impact and reputation, and as they all are different aspects of the very same thing, really. So many people do have dreams. Many people, there's one gentleman who his dream is to just go around the planet and build wells and provide wells in the disadvantaged communities in Africa and Southeast Asia, because he's saving lives. That's his dream, that's his passion, that's his highest excitement, that's his impact, that's his legacy. So find those three, because these are the entry levels towards values. And remember what we said, the bosses will be different, the BSs will be different, but the values is what carries the most weight when it comes to alignment. The second index, the trust index between you and your team. Once you bond together, once you gel together, then you can start co-creating and you can start scaling. If you're a one-man team, don't worry about it. You're doing fine. You'll find the right people. Many of them will be in that comment section down below. So this is where we're moving towards the most important skills that I would like you to consider having. Regardless of who is your icon, I would like you to invest your XP points, your experience points, which is just a symbol of your time, energy, and resources, your money. Your experience points, if you can consider investing them in social skills. Like, there's so many entrepreneurs, they want to learn coding, they want to learn how to flip properties remotely, they want to know how to find stocks, they want to know about emerging markets, they want to know how to build apps without coding. Guys, I'm telling you, everything and anything, everything is a skill set, and someone has it. That one, if I would have to, and once again, I appreciate this is my confirmation bias, and I apologize for that. I'm not implanting any suggestions, I'm removing myself back. But if I would be hard pressed against the wall with my hands high up, and someone was, no JB, you have to give me that subsection of skill set that is the most important of all, hands down, social skills. ability to communicate. And remember, it's a communication 99% non-verbal. It's not just the language, it's not just the body language, it's not just the tone of voice, it's the energy. You communicate through your energy, you communicate through your attitude, you communicate through your happiness index. That's the greatest form of communication. Your ability to listen, your empathy spectrum. Are you an empathic person? Are you capable of taking yourself and doing that astral projection and leaving your body and going inside the body of another human being and looking from, reframing it again, looking at it from their perspective? Are you a compassionate person? Do you care about people? Do you really genuinely want people to succeed? I mean, those skill sets should be taught in schools, and yet ultimately they're not. Why? Don't ask me. Ask your teachers. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here now, would you? No, I'm joking. I'm just joking, guys. Definitely. Ultimately, depending what's your character arc and where you want to go, that's going to predetermine which skills you're going to learn. But never, ever neglect the social skills. I would dare to venture that social skills are amongst the most important of the skills, because whatever else it is out there to be done, if you find the right people and the ability to connect with them, they can do it for you. And if your values do not align, don't worry, because you can rent their services, you can pay for their expertise, you can hire them to do so, and you will be doing that on a regular basis. You will not be able to take hundreds of people onto your team because you don't have that time. You don't have, there's only so many hours in a day. I mean, I would love to connect with all of you guys, but it's just not feasible. So I'm not gonna get my hopes up, and I'm not gonna give you false promises that I'm not able to keep. So please keep that in mind. Social skills, super important. So that's what's going on here. You've got your skill sets, you develop your skill sets, you find other people who are searching for solutions of how to develop their skill set. That's one interest groups. The second interest groups, the hobbies and the passions. That's the second entry level values. And the third, the dreams, the impacts, the aspirations, how we want to change the world. Find those three groups. Your team and your highest excitement is within those three. That's how you're going to find them, and you will find it that almost always it will happen so serendipitously that you will come to surprise yourself. Remember the three modalities of consciousness. Remember the third lesson is super consciousness. You don't need to know how, just who else is coming. So they will come to you just like you will come to them, and you will be blown away how amazing and mystical and magical it will become. So that's how you become an icon. You emulate your icons and you become an icon. And the people, how will the people choose you? Values. If they are inspired by you, just like you were inspired by your icons, they will start aligning with you. They will come to you. They will come searching for the answers, especially if you are searching for this similar skill set, you have similar interests slash hobbies, and especially if you have the dreams, if you have that large vision and you share that vision, those people will come to you. So this is how you will synchronistically slash serendipitously assemble your team. Hopefully you're going to keep them if your values are aligned. That's how you're going to start co-creating. But before that happens, there's one final thing that you will have to do. Overwhelming majority of people suffer from that. It's 90% of people suffer from what it's called what mass psychologists slash psychologists call the cognitive bias, which is negativity bias. The negativity bias is the prelude to the Murphy's law, that if something can go wrong, it will. The negativity bias is just a societal conditioning, it's the anthropology of human beings. The Game of Life on the Planet Earth edition was a very challenging endeavor, and people have a cellular memory of those terrible events. Like, people tend to forget that there's all those benefits, all those privileges, all those blessings like technology. This is brand new. I mean, this is only like 150 years. I mean, the artificial intelligence, internet, social media, that's no greater than 20 years. I mean, artificial intelligence itself is like 6 years, 2020 really. So when it really started off and being available to the masses. So most of the time, life on planet Earth was challenging. We're not gonna say more than that because we're not going into negativity, mind framing, but people have that belief system that if something can go wrong, it will go wrong because they are in a negative mind frame. They are nagged. They are depressed, they are misaligned, they are not in a state of the highest excitement because they are surrounded with the people who are a reflection of that emotional state. And that's why when you say something to them, when you give them an offer, hey, do you want to take your life to the next level, most of them will say no, not because there's something wrong with them, but because they are not in the right state. So imagine it, the analogy would be that every single human being is like a perfect instrument, but it's misaligned, it's out of tune. So you have to tune it up, and you tune it up by overcoming the negativity bias, that overcoming the objections, because that's what it is. And the next video will be discussing the turning of objections. But for the time being, very quick recap, you just finding an icons, ideally 3 people, you emulating your icons, paying the attention to the bosses, their BSs and the values, and the daily occurrences, aka the behavioral patterns, the algorithm of life on the in terms of your daily workflow. And then you connect with the right communities, both digitally and physically, with the communities which are searching for the right skill set. And everything is a talent because you start with a certain level of your skill, but everything can be learned as well, as long as you continue to grow and as long as you choose to believe you can. Everything is a skill set. You find the people searching for the right skill set. You find the people who share your passions, your proclivities, your hobbies, your interests. And lastly, you find the people who share your dreams and aspirations. These are the 3 interest groups. These are the 3 demographics. This is where your team is hiding. Once you find them, you will have to recharge them, you will have to reframe them, you will have to turn the objections because they are slightly in a negativity bias. You have to show it to them, and they don't want to be told how to do it, they want to be shown how to do it. Remember the ESE, emotional social example. Monkey sees, monkey does. When people see that you're having fun, when people see that you're manifesting events in accordance to collective will, when you see that, when they see that there is a way out from that modern day slavery called 9 to 5, when they see that they can follow the highest excitement, they can make an impact, they can make the difference for themselves, their families, their communities, and planet at large, you shall be unstoppable, but you will have to reframe it for them in positive fashion. So until then, this is it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're gonna turn objections specifically, but for this lesson, this is it. I hope you have had an amazing time, and I hope you're gonna continue to be in a state of the greatest exhilaration and exuberance. I wish you all the best. If there's anything you need from me, remember, guys, I am here for you, not the other way around. Serving you is my highest excitement. JP, what's your highest excitement? You are. When you guys are learning and growing and co-creating together, this is the only way this community can coexist and co-create and go to the next level. So thank you again. Thank you so much. You have yourself a wonderful day, and I shall see you, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next video. Mwah, 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 mwah.